Company, your business empowered. St. Mary's coming off a shocking defeat to Santa Clara. It cost them the 2 seed. That's why they're here this afternoon as opposed to playing tonight. And the Gales and the Pilots are underway. Vandermars jumping center with Waldo. Vandermars has twice as many blocked shots as Waldo. Waldo, first-team all-conference performer.
And with Portland, very important that they play inside out. And they get this is a great first set for them. They get it over the top to Vandermars, over the top of Waldo. If they can play inside out where they get some points inside and then kick the ball outside to open shooters, well, that plays to their strength.
Aaron Bright, senior out of Bellevue, Washington, started his career at Stanford. Here's Waldo. 19 points, 9 rebounds a game for 0-0. Waldo and Vandermars, what a matchup to watch here in sparkling high definition. Simmons, shot clock's at 4. Carter in high off the glass. And the Pilots come out with it. Wintering on the run, 3-on-1, quickly down the floor and in. And it's 4-0 Portland.
Wintering with so much quickness. He's so good in the open court. We're in for a treat today with Wintering on that guard line for Portland, and then St. Mary's. But Kerry Carter has been outstanding along with Aaron Bright. Such a good guard line.
Wintering in there to harass Waldo, knocks the ball out of bounds.
Take a look. Defense leads the offense. Quick hands by Vandermars in the post. Gets it out to Wintering. And he's so good in the open court. I love the way he avoids contact here. Instead of going over the top of Aaron Bright, he slips to the side and finishes in transition.
Garrett Jackson's foul going up. And he'll go to the free throw line as Jason Todd, in his second start of the season, picks up his first. Our score box is brought to you by Platinum Roofing. When it comes to roofing, it's not just about stopping leaks anymore. It's about energy efficiency. Bailey assessed with the foul. Although Todd was over there and the free throw missed.
Garrett Jackson, the 6'7" forward. He's been solid from the free throw line this season, 73%. Great defender. Transferred from USC, sat out 1 year, and then made his first appearance last year and averaged 3.9 a game, but he's picked it up big time here this season.
Presley. Now it's Todd. And Todd throwing it too high. You know you got to throw it high if you throw it too high for Vandermars at 6'11".
And Kevin Bailey turned back to the bench and said, hey, that's my fault. That's not Vandermars' fault. I threw the ball in a bad spot and took the blame for that one.
Left hand off the glass, smooth goes Kerry Carter.
Kerry Carter is so strong. He's got great quickness, but I think his best asset is he's fearless and he's got great strength.
Bailey has it taken away by Carter. A 2-on-1 and a finish by Bright, and the Gales have a 5-0 run.
Both of these teams take care of the ball pretty well. They're identical, 12 turnovers a game on average. That's something we'll be watching today. The team that can win that turnover margin battle is going to have a chance to win this thing.
So many looks inside to Vandermars. Shot by Todd, his first of the game. Gales come running again. Bright went down. Foul will go against Bailey. It looks like they just got their feet tangled up, but that's number 2 on Bailey.
Well, and Bailey reaching out, trying to defend, and literally just gets his heel tangled up with Bright's toe and knocks it down. You have to make a call, though. Even though it's slightly incidental, it has an impact on the play. They make the call. And so Bailey with a foul.
Gayroon is in. Bailey, averaging 15 points a game, goes to the bench with 2 personals. We'll keep an eye on Valdi Gayroon. As Blaine mentioned, with the flu this week. See how much strength he has in those battles down low. Carter. Simmons, back to Carter. The inside-out game is a big part of both of these offenses. And they go inside to Waldo. Vandermars wins the battle, gets the rebound. Presley open for 3, too strong. Follows his shot. Inside, nifty pass. Vandermar is going to go to the free throw line. Simmons picking up his first foul.
And Presley did a nice job of following his own shot. He missed the jump shot. He knew that it was short. Bryce Presley did. So he followed right back to the basketball, and as it came off, he was able to get what a would-be assist to Thomas Vandermars.
Free throw shooting not in the comfort zone of Vandermars, just 58% on the season. But he gets the first one.
Here's a guy that's 53% from the field, and he's a high percentage shot taker. So he takes shots in and around the basket, move him out to the free throw line, which I don't understand, because when you watch him, he has good touch, good hand-eye. He's got a soft touch with the basketball. He can be a better free throw shooter than that, but here he is as a senior, and at 58.7%.
Philip Hartwich checks into the game. Vandermars will be out for the moment.
I love the job Wintering is doing defensively, head-to-head on Aaron Bright. He is really playing tough defense.
Three-point shot off for Carter. Jackson the rebound. They'll get another three from the right side. Bright with a good look. Wintering always traveling at full speed. Hartwich, here's Wintering, open for three. Tapped around, the Gales bring it out. 6-5 for the Pilots. Waldo yet to score. Simmons, long rebound. And Carter takes it right in. Late dish. Off with the women's semifinals. BYU and top seed Gonzaga at 3 Eastern time, followed by San Francisco and second seed San Diego. Our Monday doubleheader. All right here on BYU TV. St. Mary's with the ball after the timeout.
I like the effort both of these teams have played defensively so far, and the result has been 2 of 5 for Portland. 40%, not bad. And for St. Mary's, they're just 2 of 7, 28.6% to start this game off. And I've been very impressed with the perimeter defense of Wintering. He's out now, and you got Sharp in place at that guard.
Waldo. Hartwich trying to deal with Waldo and kicks it back out. Right inside to Jackson. Not a lot of room there. Another offensive board for Waldo. And a shot clock violation. Waldo thought it hit something up there, so he went back out with the ball instead of right back up with it. And the turnover goes to Portland.
Well, let's watch if this thing goes over. It does. It hits so high on the glass, never hits the rim, doesn't hit the rim on the tip. And then Brad Waldo, relentless as he always is, comes up with a rebound, but without a reset of that shot clock, they get a violation. And Eric Revenue very happy right now. You can tell by his body language, he's been very excited about the defense his team has played so far against the St. Mary's attack.
Emmett Nahr into the game for the first time. The all-freshman team out of Sydney, Australia for St. Mary's. And the Pilots trouble with the ball as Gabe Taylor checks into the game and throws it away, but back we come. There's Bobby Sharp into the game for the first time. We have seen him as a sharp shooter from the outside. He had some big games last year. Not as many this year.
And nobody can really put their finger on it because he's such a quality shooter, and his percentages are down this year. He's the kind of guy, though, if you're St. Mary's, you worry if he gets hot, but he can just go off.
Had 27 points, all on three-pointers against BYU last year. Made a name for himself. Vandermars back into the game with 6 points and a 3-point Pilot lead. Now here's Emmett Nahr, averaging just under 7 points a game. Inside, got to get Waldo going. And the foul, that's going to send the big fella to the free throw line. He'll shoot 2.
Look at Vandermars. So he's going to counteract this great size and strength of Brad Waldo with his quickness and mobility inside. Vandermars at 6'11 and 240 has got great feet and good quickness. He can face the basket. And his challenge is going to be to defend Waldo down low on the other end without fouling. He picks up one here, and Waldo at 270 pounds is so strong, the strongest post player in the West Coast Conference.
He can wear you out. Just a 64% free throw shooter, and he misses the first as Wintering re-enters the game, and Todd sits down for Portland. Waldo had just 5 points at Santa Clara on Saturday. We expect a bounce-back game from him today. He gets his first point with 13:59 to go in the half.
He's too good a player to have back-to-back games like that. Santa Clara, we saw Santa Clara. You and I did their game last night. They're playing really well right now. They're a scary basketball team. The way they are shooting it and the way those guards are playing, and Clark and Brownridge.
Wintering is denied down low. Ball knocked out of bounds. Santa Clara, for most of that second half last night, shot 75%.
Yeah, they're crazy confident right now. So when you think, wow, Santa Clara just beat the St. Mary's team, if you saw them last night and you saw them in that game, you recognize that that's not that surprising the way their guards are playing right now. Can they keep it up? We'll see later tonight.
Wintering right down and reach in. Waldo trying to defend against Vandemars, and Waldo picks up his first.
I'll tell you what I love right here. It's strong hands by Vandemars, because if Vandemars doesn't come at this thing with strong hands, that ball's just tipped away and nothing happens. But because he's aggressive and he plays with strong hands, he gets the foul.
Sharp, that's a 2. And it's 10-6 for Portland. Randy Bennett does not want to see Sharp hit his first couple because he can go off. Charging down the post. Good defense for the Pilots. Open 3. Another miss. Vandemars with the rebound. Bright now has missed 2 in a row from distance.
And that shot for Bright seemed a little bit rushed. He didn't square up. He had plenty of time. Loved the penetration in the kick, but he had time to square up and shoot that thing with good form.
Taken out of bounds. A nice effort by Simmons. He tried to get that timeout, but he landed out of bounds before getting it.
Well, Sharp comes off of that curl and just catches and immediately squares up and shoots. And you see he took his time to square up. Just that extra half a second to make sure you're square, get that elbow tucked under, and we didn't see that out of Bright on the other end.
Garoon and Hartwich return. Presley, Wintering, and Bailey. Bailey playing with 2 fouls. Dane Pinot into the game for St. Mary's. Bailey taken away. The fast hands of Carter. 3-point shot. Nar is off the mark. Another offensive board. Now Waldo kind of gets established and makes his move.
Oh, what a great move that time. He knew he had the defender on his hip, and so he went to the other side of the rim to use the rim almost as a screen from the basketball. Waldo, so creative inside, so strong, and such good touch around the rim.
Wintering. Now Bailey. Hartwich will challenge Waldo. Bailey up with a shot. Bailey's first 2. He's the leading scorer in this group of Pilots. And he'll need a big game. He had 13 against St. Mary's the first time, 10 in the rematch on the road. And Waldo to answer. Another offensive rebound. And a putback. 5 now for Waldo.
He's relentless. Just continues to go after it. He's so strong. He's a combination. He's just so strong in there, but his mental toughness is what I'm most impressed with.
Wintering misses on the 3, chased down by Garoon. Vandemars getting ready to come back in. And we got a foul away from the ball.
For him. They're going to battle him before the ball comes in, and so far in this game, the double teams come as soon as he puts the ball on the floor.
Pilots are shooting over 55% to start the game, but 5 offensive rebounds from St. Mary's has allowed the Gales to keep it close.
Well, and 2 of those offensive boards for Brad Waldo 4 second chance points now for the Gales.
Nar. Carter looking into Waldo. Vandermar's back in to defend. The two Giants going at each other. Aaron Bright swooping into the lane. Left it for Waldo, but in the tie-up, the arrow will keep it in the possession of the Gales. Some fast hands defensively down there to knock that ball away. Think about Waldo, too. As big as he is not afraid to get down there on the floor.
No, he's a terrific player, and he's a big guy that plays with a tremendous amount of effort. Ball goes down. He's athletic enough to go down and get it. Been so good for so long for this program. Think about it. 5th in point score career. We're talking about St. Mary's. 2nd in free throws, 3rd in field goals, 4th in rebounds, 4th in block shots. So top 5 in 5 categories career for St. Mary's.
Jason Todd picks up his first foul. From deep in the corner. Carter's shot rattles out.
He was 0 for 3 now for Portland and 0 for 6 for the Gales. Not a lot of threes falling down in this one so far, Dave.
Far cry from what we saw last night. Presley going to try to get a three-pointer the unconventional way. With a bucket and a foul, he'll go to the free throw line.
Bryce Presley, the junior, going to put the ball on the floor. And notice the Voldy Garoon does a nice job of screening off and letting him turn that corner, helping his teammate. Good, strong finish.
First foul on Carter. And Presley, 73% from the free throw line. Calvin Hermanson into the game for the first time for St. Mary's. These two coaches will go 10 and 11 deep. Garoon nearly knocking it off of Nar, but St. Mary's keeps possession down by 5. Portland played the Gales tough in the previous 2 meetings in the first half, but big runs in the second half knocked it open for St. Mary's. An 18-0 run in one of the games, a 16-2 run, and they were able to pull away. But the first halves have been competitive in all of the matches this year. Waldo.
Look at Waldo. So he picks the ball up right over the top of the help. They had one of the guards come down, try to dig it out. Waldo's so strong, just finishes anyhow, right through the double team.
7 now for Waldo. Vandermar's fighting for position, but Presley has it taken away. Now it's Waldo on the move. Shot well defended. Pilots bring it down. Waldo has scored the last 7 points for St. Mary's. Garoon falling away. Vandermar's on the follow. 8 points for Vandermar's. Back to a 5-point lead. Vandermar's has had a good season against the Gales.
He's looked solid in this one too. But 2 of his double-doubles this season came against St. Mary's. It's like he just gets up for the challenge of having to play against Brad Waldo.
Carter with the left hand, blocking foul on Garoon. That's going to send Carter to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Here's Vandermar's the last time down, making a good read. And you've got Waldo over on the ball side thinking help defense, and so Vandermar's is able to slip in on the weak side. When that shot was long, he was in a great position. Your weak side rebounder has to know that and get inside position.
16 points, 13 boards in the first meeting, 17 points and 10 rebounds in the second for Vandermar's.
Here's how we got to this position. Talk about how strong Carter is.
That was a flop.
Yeah,
no, should have been assessed a foul just for the acting job.
Well, they did get the foul, but they should have taken away an Oscar. It wasn't good.
Waldo comes out of the game, so the pressure to score points will shift with this St. Mary's lineup on the floor as Carter gets 1 of 2. He's got 3 points in a 4-point Pilot lead. With Waldo out, let's see how Portland attacks down low. Sharp back into the game. Now it's Wintering. Sharp just inside the arc. Battle for the board. Carter brings it out. Simmons back to Carter. And Emmett Nahr will set up a play. Bobby Sharp strips it away from Carter. They'll call it jump ball unless they've got a foul. One's calling one thing and the other official calling something else. So let's see what they come up with.
Let's watch, because they're going to call a foul, and I'm not so sure about this. Sharp, a good clean. That's not where the foul's called. They're calling a foul right here on the reach over. I don't know.
Taylor.
I don't know about that one on Taylor at all. That ball was still loose, and that's the kind that you usually just let go.
We've seen that called a variety of ways over the course of the season. First foul on Taylor. 17 fouls, so that's going to send St. Mary's to the line.
I can tell you Eric Revenue is not happy about that call at all, and he is being heard.
Just 3 fouls so far on St. Mary's. Free throw missed. Another offensive board. Pilots hanging tough. Sharp passes on the 3.
Now Waldo's so strong, and here's that move again in real-time motion. He's just so smart. And I'll tell you, I've watched over his career as he's gotten better and better at understanding where the double team's coming, and he's very good at passing out of the double team and setting up Carter and the gang on the perimeter for jump shots that are open.
He remains on the bench coming out of the timeout. Pilots bucket here, giving the biggest lead. An air ball by Sharp. Sharp was too close.
Yeah, that was an easy shot. He's better off back behind that 3 line. He just feels way more comfortable back about 20 feet from there.
Nahr and Wintering. Wintering will win the speed match up there.
Well, you got to be impressed with Wintering, because he pushes this offense for Portland, but the guy plays hard defensively and uses that quickness. He really pushes up defensively on the perimeter and plays tough D.
Simmons. Shot clock's at 8. Nahr looks up at it. Need to make his move. Back over to Simmons to beat the shot clock. Not even close on the 3, but an offensive rebound. Carter for 3. That one goes down.
That's the reward for hustling on offense. And how many times do you see that? You get an offensive board, everybody's crashing in there, your wings are getting out to try to get outlet passes, and you get a wide open 3-point shooter coming back on that second chance.
Presley swoops in for 2. Batted around, and Simmons brings it out. Gales a chance to take the lead. Nahr. Carter off to the right. He is the top gun on the floor with Waldo out. Nice defense again. Block shot. No team blocks more shots in this league than the Pilots. Surprised that the Pilots haven't got the ball to Vandermars with Waldo out.
Because he is a mismatch down there. Even when Waldo's in there, Vandermars with such quickness.
Hermanson.
And they're better.
Foul.
Sharp is better on the perimeter, and Presley better on the perimeter. When that ball's into Vandermars, defense has to collapse, and they catch and shoot when it's coming from inside out.
The winner of this game will play the winner of BYU and Santa Clara in the semifinals on Monday.
They call it travel this time on Wintering. Yeah, he's quick enough when he keeps his pivot foot down. He's hard to stay in front of. If you let him do that, nobody's going to be able to stay in front of him.
Garrett Jackson back into the game. So is Bright. Nahr will go out for the moment. Hermanson's out. 8 turnovers for the Pilots to just 4 for St. Mary's in a 1-point game.
We mentioned both of these teams average around 12 turnovers a game. So Portland's just ahead of schedule right now in a bad way on the turnover department.
Carter blocked by Vandermars. Another offensive board. Wintering loses it. Nearly had the steal from Bright. And the Gales keep possession. And Waldo returns. Landale will go to the bench. Just right. I got it. I don't have it.
Well, as an offensive player, Wintering's just got to drive you crazy. He just picks you up as soon as you cross half court and just on you with such great quickness. Watch him out here. One-on-one on Bright.
Bright to the free throw line. And a shot clock violation. He turned around and thought, I'm out of time.
But right on cue. We talk about Wintering's defense. He's fantastic that time down the court. Just relentless. And this is how you go over the top of a screen. When somebody goes over a screen, you just put your nose on their number. You follow them right over the top of the screen, and you don't give up. And Vandermars did a nice job of showing on the screen, but man, that was just a really good defensive play by Wittering.
Eric Reveno all fired up about his team's defensive performance here in this first half. Under 5 minutes to play, and St. Mary's with just 16 points. Wittering forcing it to Vandermars and knocked out of bounds. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Wittering out of North Carolina went from one coast to the other coast. Long ways from home. Shot clock's at 2. Wittering for 3. Waldo battling Vandermars, and it's off of Waldo. And we may have a correction here as the two officials will meet under the basket. And Portland's going to keep possession. St. Mary's thought there was going to be an overruling, and they started heading down the court. Not so, and they'll come back and set everybody up.
After they had a discussion, they decided to stay with the original call and keep it there, and they very clearly signaled it, but I think that when everyone heard the whistle, they thought it was reversed.
Credit to St. Mary's defense as well. They have kept the Pilots in check. 8 points for Vandermars. Everyone else has been well defended. Presley going to pop a 3. He's fouled. He'll shoot 3 right in front of the St. Mary's bench. And the foul's on Carter, and that's his second. He's having a word with his teammates as he comes out of the game.
And Randy Bennett talking to him too, because he's got to come down. And Randy Bennett saying, listen, hey, 3-point shooter on a catch and shoot, close out under control, keep your feet under you. Those are tough shots. You just got to get a hand up, and you're going to make it a tough shot. And now you make it a much easier option here from the free throw line for Bryce Presley, who's a 74% free throw shooter.
This is the first.
And just as I say that, he clanks it off the back of the end, right? That's how it always works.
Carter ready to check out of the game. Haven't blown the whistle yet. We'll do it after this one. Presley misses the second. Dar returns. Carter goes out. Wittering is going to come out for the moment. Vandermars will go out. Zuba Zaretta into the game for Portland. Just about everybody getting some minutes here in the first half. 1 of 3 from
Presley
the strike.
he just shakes his head as he backs away, thinking, wait a minute. I just had 3 shots from the free throw line with nobody guarding me, and I only made 1.
Jackson working around a double team. Nar passes on the 3, opts for 2, blocked by Presley. But what a play by Presley. Zubia Zaretta will run the offense. Representing Spain here today. Tough shot. DeMarcus Tyson into the game, knocks down his first 2.
DeMarcus Tyson, just a freshman. A lot of young talent in this league this year.
Waldo kind of trying to get through the back door. Fight for the rebound. A foul will go against St. Mary's.
As usual, she has healthier choices than chips.
Everybody's got endorsements on NASCAR weekend here in Las Vegas, including those 2. That's coming up at the half. You almost have to watch now just to see what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Free throw is good by Jason Todd. Didn't score in the previous games against St. Mary's. He's got his first point tonight. This shot right here gives the Pilots their largest lead of 6.
The Pilots shooting 47% from the field to this point. Just 27% for St. Mary's. That's a testament to Portland's defense. The reason St. Mary's is this close is because they've been relentless on the offensive glass. 8 offensive boards, just keeping them in it.
Aaron Bright fights inside. Earns a trip to the free throw line. Bright's 86% from the line. Very comfortable there.
Aaron Bright, a guy that was a 3-year letter winner at Stanford and then graduates. He's got a Stanford degree in hand, and then comes as a graduate student. And man, I'll tell you what, he's been really, really good his senior basketball season for Randy Bennett.
That foul was on Presley, his first. Vandermars comes back in. Hartwidge goes out as Bright knocks down the first. Gets them both to go. Lead back to 4. Vandermar's been sitting on 8 points for a while. Outside, good-looking shot for 3 is Tyson. He's got 5 points off the bench, and the largest lead is now 7.
And he's a guy that can get hot. He made 6 of 8 threes against Valpo earlier this season, had 25 points off the bench.
Wintering with the reach-in. Picks up the foul as Bright tried to make his move around him. That's the first foul on Wintering.
Yeah, Tyson is a rhythm shooter. You've got to be on him and not let him feel that comfortable. Now that he's made a couple, you got to mark him because he can get hot and fill it up quickly. He's shown that early in the season.
Hermanson back into the game, and Jackson leaves for St. Mary's. Free throw is good.
Aaron Bright this season, 10.8 points a game. He's been really good from the free throw line. Of course, when I say that, they always miss, but 87%. And I love his distribution of the basketball. 110 assists, just 64 turnovers this year for Aaron Bright.
And 24 for his career high against LMU in early January. Pilots by 5. We near the 2-minute mark of this first half. It's been a good one for Portland, trying to upset the 3-seeded Gales. Strong drive to the basket. Todd can't finish. Waldo had 7 points early on and hasn't seen much of the ball since. Left-handed three-point shot is true by Hermanson. 46% shooter from out there. And the lead is down to 2.
Great penetrate and kick mentality that time down the floor for St. Mary's. So good. Their guards are so good at taking you off the dribble and then finding the open shooter on the perimeter.
Presley right down to Vandermars. Working on Waldo.
Wow.
Vandermars with 10.
Vandermars, he looks really, really soft. Something about playing St. Mary's causes him to bring his A game. He just loves to play against this team, and maybe it's the challenge of playing against one of the best in the league in Brad Waldo.
He's 4 for 4 from the field. Now Waldo kicks it outside. Hermanson hit a 3 a moment ago, and he's fouled. And he'll shoot 3 as Tyson got into it. And Hermanson will go to the line. Hasn't been there a lot this year, just 6 of 10 all season. But he'll get 3 shots at it with 59 seconds to go.
Hermanson has been a real nice punch coming off the bench from the outside. He likes to lurk on the outside. He's had 39 field goal attempts coming into this game. 30 of those were threes. And he's 14 of 30, 46.7% from the field.
Again, the challenge today for Portland is not the first half. They've gone toe-to-toe with St. Mary's now for 3 first halves this season. It's been in the second half where they've gone cold and have fallen apart. We're going to see whether or not they've found the answer to that when they come out of the locker room. But they're right back in it once again through the first 20 minutes. Those 3 free throws make it a 1-point game.
And St. Mary's is a mentally tough program. Randy Bennett's been here a long time. The kids in this program believe that they're supposed to win. They win tournament games. This is
the 5 seed. The winner of that game will play the winner of San Francisco and Gonzaga, and they'll meet later tonight. BYU and Gonzaga, the top 2 seeds, and they get the nightcap on Saturday nights here. And we saw San Francisco squeak one out last night, and then we saw Santa Clara just put on a show. Speaking of a show, there's Tyson.
We talked about it already. When he gets feeling it. See, right now, Tyson's going, man, do we really have to have halftime in 37 seconds? I'm feeling it right now. I don't want to go in the locker room and cool off.
These guys, that's what they do.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to go to this. I'll make it. All right, you go in.
Yeah, you're in. You have it.
And he did. 30-26. Waldo still sitting on 7 points. Simmons hands it to Naar. Looks up at the clock. Waldo up top of the key. Likes to roll in from there. Simmons looks to Waldo. Shot clock's at 4 and a steal by Wintering. Presley calls for the ball. Wintering up over the defense with an air ball. Garoon keeps wets on. He's completely cooled down. We're ready to start the second half. The winner will face the winner of tonight's BYU Santa Clara game in the semifinals on Monday night. Todd again starting here in the second half, making his second start of the year. Garoon dealing with the flu. He's been in and out during that first 20 minutes. And Todd with a miss. Carter driving baseline. There's Waldo.
Great pass by Carter. Penetration, you get the defensive rotations. They're just a little bit late. He's going to take advantage of that.
Waldo now with 9.
Carter and Brightwood combined 3 of 9 in that first half. Look for them to be a little more assertive offensively in the second half.
Vandermar regroups, kicks it back to Bailey. Waldo with 9, Vandermar's with 10. It's been a great matchup to watch. Todd feeds Vandermar's, throws it up with the left hand. His first miss today. Much stronger with the right for Vandermar's. Opted for the left. Carter fouled from behind as he moved into the paint. Presley with his second. Our score box brought to you by Brady Industries, a provider of commercial cleaning supplies and equipment. Brady Industries, clean solutions, a tradition for generations. St. Mary's down by 4. Second offensive possession of the second half. And went right down to Waldo to get things started. Bright, deep kick out. And Jackson fouled. He'll go to the line. Bailey will pick up his third. There's a lot of contact there to get the space. There's some more, and then the foul.
Yeah, that's a tough one, and you have to get some help sometimes on someone that's as strong with the basketball as Garrett Jackson is.
Jackson, another one of the seniors, trying to keep their season going.
Well, and he didn't get many good opportunities in that first half, just not any really good looks. Only had 1 shot attempt in that first half. And Garrett Jackson, a guy that has been solid for them, averaging 8 points a game, and he's another guy that can knock down threes.
Knocks in 2 free throws, and it's a 2-point game. A lot of leadership on the floor for St. Mary's. Waldo a senior, Jackson a senior, Simmons a senior, Carter a senior, Bright a senior. It'll be a whole different team next year when we run into these guys. There's a foul on Jackson, defending against Bailey. And Jackson picks up his first.
Bailey, good ball fake that time out of the perimeter to get Jackson off his feet and then slid under.
Presley, we'll work on getting that hum out of your TV set as fast as we can.
That's in the building here, so.
Wintering. Bulldogs out there. They're looking into Vandermars. Now it's Bailey. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Challenges. Simmons gets the foul, and Bailey will go to the line. The third foul on Desmond Simmons.
And on attack, Kevin Bailey. 15 points a game this season for Kevin Bailey. And shooting 41% from the field. Very strong, always on attack. And he's a really good free throw shooter at over 80%.
First one goes. 3 points for Bailey and a 3-point lead. There's Gayroon back into the game. If you joined us late, he's been dealing with the flu all week. Didn't start today and has had a few moments here and there in that first half, trying to get as much out of him as they can. 4-point lead for Portland. Waldo denied by Vandermars and out of bounds. Jackson will throw it back in. St. Mary's 21-8 on the year, 13-5 in league play. Lost the tiebreaker with BYU because of their loss to Santa Clara and BYU's win at Gonzaga last week. Everyone clears out. It's Waldo against Vandermars. Now we get some help. Kick out. Bright open for three. Misses it as the shot clock expires. Now Presley right into Gayroon. Off the glass and in. Pilots are back up by 6.
Well, you got to love it when the big guys run the floor. Voldy Gayroon came from all the way under the basket that time at 6'11" and hustled all the way down to get the early offense.
Bright is fouled on the dish to Waldo. The foul's on Wintering, and that's his second.
When you see Gayroon getting rewarded by running down. And a good finish. Very patient, too. Showed that ball fake to make sure that he was going to pin the defender to the floor, and then went over the top. Gayroon limited minutes in that first half, effective minutes when he was in there, but they got to have him be able to play some, because you can't expect Vandermars to go against Waldo all game long.
Hermanson and Tyson back into the game.
And when Portland's got both big guys on the floor, they're a force inside. 2 6'11" guys on the floor right now for the Pilots.
Into Waldo. Looking to maneuver on a, look at that battle, and Waldo is going to get an offensive foul. There was the first bump, and then they both kind of regrouped, and Vandermars held his ground, and an offensive foul, number 2 on Waldo.
Watch how good this is. He gets his backside down.
And then here he comes.
And he just took, instead of creating the contact, he absorbed the contact and went back. That was really well played by Vandermars. He's done a great job in this one defensively.
Bucket here will really give the Pilots a boost. Up by 6. Bailey, here comes Tyson. He's top of the key. Vandermars with the right hand. Brought down by Carter. Now come the Gales. And Vandermars out of position. Aaron Bright saw the lane to the basket, charged right in there, and he'll get 2 free throws.
And that'll be Thomas Vandermars' second foul. This is the kind you don't want him to get, because he has to go down and be able to battle the big guys. And he's long enough at 6'11". He could have hesitated a little bit more and just gone all ball on that one. But boy, you got to credit that time Aaron Bright. Crafty. He's a crafty guard. He understands how to create contact, jumping a little bit into Vandermars to create the contact and get to the free throw line.
Todd returns. Bailey goes out for Portland. Bright knocks them both down. He's at 8 points, and the lead back to 4. Nice recovery by Todd after the bad pass. Now Presley matched up with Bright. Shot clock at 5. Tyson another 3. Follows his shot, gets a fresh 35, puts it up, and Waldo brings it down.
Well defended that time by Hermanson on
Carter on the lob.
both of those, the last two fouls did not come against Brad Waldo.
So the pressure will shift to Hartwich at 7 feet, a freshman out of Germany, while Vandermars sits on the bench with those 3 fouls. We'll see how St. Mary's attacks now. Deep in the corner, Hermanson. Long rebound. Hermanson will pick up the foul. Nice effort by Todd. And we saw Hermanson kind of sweep with that arm to hold Todd off the ball.
Yeah, Todd did a great job. Watch him tip the ball to himself, and now he's going to be in a race. And Hermanson knew that he was just a little bit behind, makes contact, and sends Todd flying, and the foul goes against Hermanson. Maybe not a bad foul, because if he doesn't make the foul, it's probably a layup on the other end, and instead it's just an out of bounds.
Wintering, then Quiet with 4 points. Tyson made a lot of noise in that first half with 8. Todd, high arc and 3. 5 points for Todd, 39-32, largest lead of the game for Portland.
Well, he doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but when he does, he's very effective. That's 7 of 12 now for the season for Todd from 3.
Ticky-tack foul, and that'll go against Wintering, his 3rd.
Todd measured that one up and hit nothing but the bottom of the net. 7 of 12, we got to be shooting more of those, right?
Yeah, Wintering leaves the game with 3, so Vandermars and Wintering each with 3. Bailey has 3 also for Portland. And all 3 of those guns are on the bench. Pilots still lead though, 39-32. Vandermars checked in on that last whistle, so we'll keep an eye on Vandermars playing with 3 fouls. Waldo moves right past him, bounces it in.
And Waldo, a veteran guy, he knows that he now can be a little more aggressive, and he's not going to get Vandermars. He'll get his best effort, but he'll get a careful effort out of Vandermars, which makes Waldo even more effective.
11 for Waldo. Tyson right into Vandermars. Left hand over Waldo, wild shot. 2 misses in a row when he's gone to his left. Waldo going to size up again, charge into the lane, draw a foul. And that will be number, if it goes against Vandermars, it'll be number 4. And it is.
Boy, and that was taking a big risk. And for Vandermars, we talk about being safe. See how he had that left arm just not vertical. It was going over the top of Waldo. Not a lot of contact here. But Waldo knows that he's going against a guy with fouls. He's going to attack. He faces up. And they're going to get Vandermars out right now. And that really hurts Portland. In my opinion, Vandermars back in too soon.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him.
Where they still had a lead. Until that lead had been cut into, I think I would have held Vandermars out.
And he's getting an earful from Eric Revenot, perhaps saying, hey, look, you only get 5.
Well, and I'm certain when he sent him in, he said, you've got to be careful.
And he's still getting a lecture. Lead of 7 is down to 3. You get a sense of when the storm might be coming for St. Mary's. They've done it to Portland twice already. But what an answer from Todd. A chance at a 3-point play as he banks it in.
Boy, Jason Todd, just a freshman, 2-time Washington Player of the Year. He's been an increasing amount of playing time as the season has progressed, and he's going to get more today just because Voldy Gay-Roon has been sick all week, taking advantage of it.
Nice looking replay. Todd misses the free throw. And the lead is 5. Nar picked up his 2nd foul. Waldo gets in position. Big challenge for Hartwich. He's got 2 smart guards waiting for him to make his move. Now Waldo with the ball. Baseline, a triple team, follows his shot, and an offensive foul. And that'll be his 3rd.
And that was a frustration foul for Waldo. He was so disappointed he didn't make the shot. And he gave him the baseline. He spun back out. He was so disappointed that he missed the shot. He came back hard over the top on the offensive rebound.
And there's Gayroon down there fighting for the ball, flu bug and all. And Gayroon wins possession. Foul on Waldo now with 3, and he may have to change his game just a little bit.
And so what does Randy Bennett now leave Brad Waldo on the floor with 13 minutes, or does he take him out and give him rest? He's leaving him on the floor right now, and if you're Portland, do you go attack Brad Waldo right now?
Wintering back in with 3 fouls. Presley. Here's Bailey. Sure been quiet. He picked up 2 quick fouls early. Here's a 2. Make some noise for Bailey.
Well, he lost that one on the way up and re-grabbed it and was still able to get it in the bucket.
That was 6 points for Bailey. And Waldo top of the key. Bright. Bednar, what is it about Portland that has kept St. Mary's from getting something going? As Waldo goes with the right hand for 2 more.
Their defense on their guards has been so good, it's made it difficult to enter the basketball into Waldo. And then Portland's bigs have played well. Portland's got a lot of size where they can give St. Mary's problems inside. A lot of big guys they can put out there on the floor even at the same time.
Wintering whistled for his 2nd travel of the game. And St. Mary's gets the ball back. Down by 5. Hartwich comes in. Gayroon will check back out.
Think about it. Hartwich is a 7-footer, just a freshman. Gayroon is 6'11". You've got Vandermars at 6'11". Just lots of big bodies to put out there on the floor.
8 in a row for Waldo.
And the great players, senior leader. Big players show up big when their team needs them, and the St. Mary's team, it felt like a little bit like they were on the ropes here almost midway through the 2nd half. And Vandermars gets in foul trouble, goes to the bench, and then Waldo just says, okay, it's time for me to assert myself as a senior leader.
Free throw good. 7-point lead down to 2. 18 for Waldo. Wintering had a costly turnover a moment ago, and get the feeling that St. Mary's believes they're going to win, and Portland is just hanging on.
Well, they've seen this movie before, twice this year, where they were right in ball games and let it get away down the stretch.
Presley.
Big runs. And, well, that's a big shot for Presley right there.
Presley was 6.
Now with Waldo with 3 fouls, if you're playing him defense, you've got to be tough, but you want to play position defense. Try to take a charge down here, get him his 4th foul.
Bright, kick back out. Carter right back to Waldo. Double team, passes out of it. Then Bright all the way in. What a block by Hartwich. Triggers a 3-on-3. Wintering. Bright gets back quickly. And the Pilots will set it up. Bailey deep in the corner. Todd won't shoot it. Back to Presley. What a block by Hartwich.
Yeah, that's what 7 foot will do for you out there. He is so long.
Presley for 3. Hartwich over the back of Waldo and picks up the foul, his 3rd. Let's take another look at that defensive moment for Hartwich.
Coming over, the help was a little bit late, but when you're 7 feet tall and your arms hang down to your knees, you could be a half a second late. It's still okay, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Boy, this is a nice play, great block. The only problem for Portland is it didn't turn into points on the other end. Hartwich ended up going over the back, and now he's going to come out. And Voldy Gayroon going to come back in, and he'll have the assignment of trying to slow down Brad Waldo.
Going to be a lot of free throws over the next 10 minutes and 40 seconds, and St. Mary's is hitting theirs today. 9 team fouls on the Pilots, 6 on the Gales. First one goes for Waldo. He'll get another. BYU and Santa Clara will play the late game tonight. The winner of that one will play the winner of this one on Monday in the semifinals. You can see that one over on ESPN2. Offensive rebound by Carter.
Yeah, and for Gayroon, he just didn't step in.
Bright. Shot to tie it.
Yeah, Voldy Gayroon very fortunate. He didn't get himself out in the lane, and he's been so good. He can back you down again over the left shoulder with that right hand hook. He's equally adept at going to the baseline. This time he puts the ball on the floor, and he goes right by Hartwich.
19 points for Waldo. Pilots with the ball and a 3-point lead. St. Mary's has fought back to keep it close. They just haven't been able to grab the lead since midway through the first half. Wintering looking for some help from Gayroon. Shot clock's at 3. Presley hits a 2.
Boy, big shot for Bryce Presley right there.
Now with 8. Big shot after big shot from Presley. 5-point lead. Into Waldo they go. Battling with Gayroon. Kick out Simmons. Waldo with the left hand. He's going to go to the line. Eric Revenos screaming he's going straight up defensively. And Waldo is fouled by Gayroon. His second.
And watch as Presley makes this big shot down on the other end. That right foot just inside the 3-point line. He picks up a 2, and then Waldo comes down, and he's just so difficult. One-on-one, Gayroon's just not strong enough to be able to stand up against him. You got to get him some help down there. In the first half, we saw when Waldo put the ball on the floor, they immediately would go down and double team. That time, they left Gayroon on his own one-on-one.
Jackson back into the game, and Emmett Nard checks out.
And some teams take the mentality when they play St. Mary's, you know what? Waldo's going to get his 20-something and his 10 boards, so we're going to play him one-on-one as much as we can. We're just not going to let Carter and Brighton, the group on the outside, go off. And so far in this ball game, even though Waldo's had a big game, the guards for St. Mary's have been relatively quiet.
Carter especially, and especially in this second half. Wintering leaves it for Todd. Kicks it back out. Gayroon. Shot clock at 8. Bailey looks up. He's going to call his own number. Into the lane he goes. Left hand. And the foul. It'll go against Bright on the reach.
Wow, what a move by Kevin Bailey. Watch as he slides to his left. And they're going to get Bright. Bright was going to take a charge. Right here said, I'm going to take a charge. And then Bailey was so good with his body control to go to the left that Bright actually just reached out and said, wow, how did he do that?
It's almost like he changed direction mid-flight.
It was amazing. That was a great play by Kevin Bailey.
Bailey quieted with those 2 early fouls, but he's come alive now with 8 points. Gayroon chases down the rebound. The lead is 6. The Pilots keep the ball under 9 minutes to go. And Portland hanging on here with Vandermars on the bench. Bailey open for 3. Look at Gayroon battling. Wins another. Oh no, they'll call it out on Gayroon. I thought they were going to have it off of St. Mary's initially, but the Gales catch a break and get the ball back.
Well, the formula now for St. Mary's, they have not been able, Portland has not been able to stop Brad Waldo. So it just doesn't change. You go down, you throw it into the Beast, and you let the Beast do his work down there.
Tyson back into the game. Wintering with the steal. And a foul on Nar on the reach. His third. Free throws now coming for the Pilots. 18 fouls on St. Mary's. Wintering at 80% goes to the line. Let's look at the foul situation for the Gales and for the Pilots. Waldo with 3, Simmons with 3, now Nar with 3. We'll give you the Pilots foul situation in a moment as they're starting to add up on both. As Simmons leaves the game and
there's
Pinot comes back. Wintering misses on the front end.
The front end of one-on-ones just kill you. Yeah, so 4 players for the Pilots with 3 or more, 3 for St. Mary's with 3 or more fouls.
Waldo. Good defense by Gayroon.
And Gayroon, a little more quickness outside to be able to cover Waldo when he's facing up.
Nar has it knocked away. It's been a frustrating couple of minutes for the all-freshman team performance. We always love coming down to Las Vegas. Great partnership with BYU TV, ESPN, and the WCC. So Wintering back at the line. What is he thinking?
He's only had one free throw attempt, the front end of 1-on-1, and he missed that just a minute ago. And for Portland, they're not taking care of business on the line. They're just 61%, 8 of 13. St. Mary's 19 of 25.
Gets the shooter's roll to roll in there for him. He's been good on the year at 80%. Second team all-conference player. 8 times has had 20 or more points, including 30 at BYU.
That second one's always easier. When that first one just leaks over the front of the rim, that second one for some reason is always just bottom of the net.
Largest lead of the game for Portland, 51-43. An 8-2 run as Wintering comes out. And Todd's back in.
We wondered when Vandermars went to the bench, would Portland be able to maintain their lead? And he's been on the bench for a long time. They've done a pretty good job. Now Gayroon's going to pick up a foul.
That'll send Waldo to the line. Third on Gayroon. Waldo's missed 2 of his last 4, and he's back there.
So 5 pilots now.
Would you rather have Waldo shoot from there or from a foot out?
I'd rather have him shoot free throws. Yeah. And until the fouls got piled up so much that it becomes a problem. And team fouls have piled up. Waldo.
Still a long time to go here, 7:39.
And he's a 65% free throw shooter, so he's solid, especially for a guy his size. He makes both of them here.
22 for Waldo. He scored St. Mary's last 13 points. However, Portland's had an answer on their end of the floor each time. Bailey from the right side. Battle for the board. Carter brings it down for St. Mary's. Carter with 6, Bright with 8. Most of that in the first half. There's another miss by Carter.
And I don't know that you should go down the floor a single time without having a touch for Brad Waldo, even if the ball comes back out of the post and they double team him. And sometimes as guards, you haven't had a shot for so long that you feel like you've got to take one. That one didn't seem like it was in rhythm to me.
Bailey's been very good on the drive. Presley's had some big shots. Deep in the corner. Tyson passes on it. Todd steps inside the arc. Knocks it down, falling to his left.
Wow.
9 for Todd. Lead back to 8.
Role players for the Pilots have been stepping up big. Back to the well. Waldo's got to be involved.
Bright's waiting for him.
There it is.
Gayroon. Waldo to the right. Can't finish this time, and Tyson brings it out.
That's still what you've got to do, though. And when he gets that double or triple team, maybe it needs to be kicked back out for an open shot, but you got to go into that post.
6 minutes to play here at the Orleans. Bailey all the way in with contact. He'll go to the free throw line. And Bailey will shoot 2. Hermanson picks up his 3rd.
Look at the good ball movement. Now Todd with the ball fake gets Waldo. He knows he's got a big player coming out on him. Waldo not closing under control, gets him off his feet. Good ball movement that time.
I tell you, last night we saw Santa Clara play their best game of the season. And today we've seen Portland put their best effort. I think you could argue to this point their best effort of the year.
This is as good as I've seen him play for this period of time. We've seen Portland with some really good halves of basketball this season, but to 35 minutes almost gone, we'll call it 34 minutes gone, this is a really good 34 minutes of basketball for the Pilots.
Can they hang on? Bailey's second free throw. And it's a 10-point lead for the Pilots. Bailey with 10. Shift will go over to ESPN.
And for St. Mary's, this is a critical possession here. And they've gone to the well, I still think that you want to get Waldo a touch, but those guards are going to have to make some plays down the stretch if they're going to have a chance to come back here. And so maybe the ball goes into the post, and when that double team comes, he looks for somebody on the perimeter that's open. They're going to go with that high ball screen with Waldo right here.
Simmons, Hermanson right to Waldo. Hartwich again. Kicked out. Hermanson for 3.
That's exactly what they wanted, an inside-out play, an open look, and they just couldn't get it to fall. So Randy Bennett thinking the same way I am. Get a good shot, and they got one, and it just wouldn't fall.
Figure the Pilots are going to start getting really patient. Entering. Right past Waldo. Out for Todd for three.
Todd is flat out of his mind in this ball game, shooting with so much confidence.
Matches his season high of 12. And it's a 13-point lead. And St. Mary's is very close to being in a whole lot of trouble. Waldo moves right past Hartwich and lays it in. Waldo with 24.
That's a tough one. Waldo's come so many times back to the inside and shot that jump hook over that left shoulder. This time he goes baseline, and Hartwich was looking for some help there and didn't get it on the baseline.
5 Pilots with 8 points or more. Tyson's had some big shots. Bailey's had some big shots. Todd has had some big shots. Who do you guard? Another shot and a foul, and 3 free throws are coming for Tyson. And it's the 4th foul on Calvin Hermanson. So Tyson will go to the line. He hasn't been there a lot this year. Came into this game 9 of 11, and that's it.
Let's take a look and see if there's contact down below. And I think the foul came after Tyson knocks down the first.
Free throw's good.
And so that foul wasn't up top on the wrist. It was, he slid underneath Tyson, and it was a body foul.
How about the play of Philip Hartwich, freshman 7-footer, called on today with Gayroon being ill and Vandermar's in foul trouble, and Hartwich has held his own, guarding a much superior player in the senior Brad Waldo.
And now you're at the 4:13 mark. Vandermar's has been able to be on the bench now for an extended period of time. They've extended the lead while he's been out there. Remember, he was the dominant player for the Pilots on the floor before that 4th foul. Tyson
with 10, another Pilot double figures. 13-point lead as we near the 4-minute mark of this quarterfinal battle. Carter into the lane. Shots blocked. Nowhere to go with those long arms.
Hartwich again. This time it's in help defense, making a big play.
St. Mary's got to find a way to get a defensive stop. Wintering maneuvers to the basket, leaves it for Todd. Shot clock is under 10. Now Wintering.
And then kicking it outside to a very confident Todd. My heavens, he's been confident. Jason Todd, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 for 2 from behind that 3-point line, 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 12 points, 4 Portland Pilots in double figures. Very, very balanced attack. And on the other side for St. Mary's, Waldo's been big time with his 24, but the rest of the Gales have been relatively quiet. Other than Waldo, the last time anyone scored was Bright. He made a couple of free throws at the 16-minute mark.
Wow.
That's too much Waldo and not enough everyone else.
And if you're St. Mary's and you got to start raining some threes, the Gales are 2 for 14 on the afternoon and 0 for 5 in the second half.
Well, and here's the problem. There's been so few shots for anyone other than Waldo in the second half that they may be a little bit rusty, but these are veteran guards. They got to come up big. And
Bright with a mistake and a
good defense.
Rebound for Portland.
Good defense by Jason Todd right there.
St. Mary's won the pair of games in the regular season with big second half runs, and they have not had a chance at one today, and credit the adjustments for the Pilots. They have led for most of this game. Todd, another long shot. Shot clock reset, an offensive rebound.
Well, what a game. What a game for Hartwich in this game. He has been fantastic. The freshman 7-footer.
Wintering with the left hand. And this time Hartwich for a little breeze and come over the back and pick up the foul. All of this being done with Vandermar's on the bench. for the last 10 minutes. And now he'll get up.
As soon as you said that, Eric Revenue walked over and said, okay, 222, get back in there and have an impact. He's been sitting a long time, and you're going to see the foul coming over the back of Waldo as Hartwich. I love the effort out of the youngster.
This league's going to have to deal with him for some time.
He's pretty skilled. I mean, for a 7-footer, he's really skilled, pretty athletic.
Gayroon and Vandermars going to see their careers extended by a couple more days. And Vandermars will come in. Hartwich comes out. Solid effort for the freshman out of Germany. And now the senior Vandermars in to try to close this one out. Waldo gets 1 of 2, and he's going to come out for the moment because Randy Bennett needs some shooters in there from distance and some speed for defense. Presley being harassed there by Bright. Pilots have been able to handle everything. Bailey off the glass.
Well, and I like, he was thinking about dunking that and then realized that it wasn't a sure thing and adjusted and made the easy layup. That was a heads-up play by Bailey.
2 minutes to go. Deep in the corner, a high arcing 3 and another miss. Now 0 for 6 from distance, but a foul on the Pilots on the rebound. And Vandermars has just fouled out. So Vandermars has played all of about 10 seconds of the last 12 minutes of this game in a game Portland's going to win.
And let's watch down on the other end. Great pass that time. And see the finish. He lost the ball on the way up, was able to re-grasp it and get it off the glass and put it in. So Vandermars was so good with 10 points. Most of those in the first half. Was the dominant player in the first half. Has hardly played here in the second half. And Hartwich and Gayroon have done a terrific job of filling in.
Free throw in by Simmons. That's just the first point for Simmons. Gets both. And Waldo's going to come back in now. The lead 14 with 1:56 to go. And you wonder, Blaine, why Randy Bennett's waited so long to go to full court pressure to try to disrupt these Pilots.
It's so hard to pressure them when you've got the quickness of Wintering at the guard. You go put pressure on him, he just dribbles right by you. And so you can try to trap him, but it's a tough team to trap. Tremendous speed at the point in Wintering.
Wintering nudged out of bounds by Waldo, but regroups, gets the ball back. Shot clock's at 7. The shifty point guard with a great pass to Todd.
Wow. That's
an exclamation point.
That absolutely is an exclamation point. And fitting that Wintering gives up the assist and Todd gets the bucket, because we've seen a lot of that.
16-point lead. Free ball for Carter. Air ball for the long guns of St. Mary's are off target. So they, as we'd mentioned just before tip-off, Randy Bennett's been to the semis. Every year he's brought a team to Las Vegas, and that's going to end here today. And Bright leaves the game.
And Brad Waldo leaves the game. What an unbelievable career. And it's a shame that he has to go out with a game. No shame to him. He was unbelievable again in this game. He was the only guy that gave St. Mary's any chance at all in this ball game, but he's been terrific in that post for so long for
Jackson goes out as well, another senior. Chance for the home fans to
It won't seem, I've said this about Matthew Della Vedova when he was in there, but not seeing Brad Waldo out there in a game next year for the Gales is just going to be really, really strange.
Jackson will be gone, Simmons will be gone, Carter will be gone, Bright will be gone. We'll see Pinot, we'll see Hermanson, we'll see Nar, but a whole lot of the artillery that's made St. Mary's so good for the last few years will be gone.
Well, in that combination they had of Matthew Della Vedova at the guard and Waldo as a young post player was one of the premier guard post combinations in the country for a couple of years.
And you'd like to think the NIT will be available. St. Mary's at 21-9.
Yeah.
So a chance for those seniors to play together at least one more time, but it won't be here.
Yeah, they're a postseason team for sure.
Knarr. They just have not been able to hit a shot outside of Waldo here in this second half. And Portland is turning this one into a rout. Wintering's day is done, and the arena gives him an applause.
You give Wintering credit for doing such a great job defensively on these St. Mary's guards. He was really good in this ball game. Used his quickness to give him all kinds of problems on the outside.
Portland will hang around for the weekend, and they'll get into the semifinals. Tonight they'll watch BYU play Santa Clara, and the winner of that one will reunite with the Pilots on Monday. BYU swept the Pilots during the regular season.
Yeah, so did St. Mary's.
So did St. Mary's.
Portland's got a different mindset here. I'm telling you, some of these young guys really came to play in this ball game, and they're going to go into that semifinal match, whoever it's against, with a lot of confidence.
Gayroon will drink a lot of fluids between now and then as he tries to finish off the flu bug.
Jason Todd checks out. What a game he's had.
Everybody had a great game for Portland. Bailey's going to come out. He had a solid game despite some early fouls. Gayroon will come out. It's a 19-point lead for Portland. Knarr in for 2 off the glass. Half and never gave it back.
Well, we saw during the regular season Portland playing St. Mary's tough for a half, and we wondered if they could mentally stay with it. Well, credit to Eric Revenue. I don't know what he said at halftime, and maybe Spencer and Kristen can ask our guests from Portland to find out what he said, because they came out just as fired up in that second half as they were in the first.
We'll get some live press conference coverage during the break. Well, the Portland Pilots have come in here and earned their 17th